My name is Brett. I'm the chocolatier here at Choxo, in case you're wondering how to even pronounce this place. And little did you know, for the past 5 years, you guys, we've had a Swiss chocolate factory right here in Orange County, California, in Irvine. Kind of the last place you'd ever really expect a good chocolate factory, or a Swiss chocolate factory for that matter, to be. And what's so cool is we can actually make chocolate here, because there is no Swiss bean, right? There is no Swiss bean, all right? It's a tropical fruit, you guys. So you eat chocolate. Chocolate's a fruit, it's a seed, it's a nut. So quality ingredients, where it's growing, who's growing it, should matter, right? But Swiss chocolate is so good, it's because of these steps, these processes, all this stuff that we'll talk about. They can literally turn a terrible bean into an amazing chocolate. All right, monkeys will take these off the tree, eat the fruit, and they spit the beans out. They don't want anything to do with those beans. They're bitter, they're astringent, and that's why it's so important that you guys ferment it. But if you don't know how to ferment your cocoa beans, ultimately, I'm not gonna be able to make chocolate taste the way it does. But it's all due to these people in these places, all right? It's a tree, it's a living thing. Where it's growing has a huge influence. Who's taking care of it has a huge influence on the taste. Of course, farmers know exactly what they're doing. And they'll just come and they'll take a machete and they'll hack it off. And they sit there and they crack it open, and they take all the fruit and all the seeds out, and they throw them into these bins where they begin the rotting process, where, believe it or not, they rot your chocolate to perfection. All right, it's also called fermentation. All right, and we all know that there's some amazing stuff that's fermented, like wine and cheese and beer and chocolate, and wine and cheese and beer and chocolate and some other stuff, you know. But this is the most important part, because you could have the rarest tree in the world, the best location, but if that farmer doesn't know how to ferment, you're not going to be able to make amazing chocolate out of it. Because believe it or not, this is where I can get all that citrusy, fruity, floral, complex, rich, almost like wine taste right out of a chocolate. Last stage down there, everyone. Definitely get those beans out of those boxes. I'd say no more than 8-9 days maybe. Any longer than that, it becomes very volatile, like vinegar. So there is no right or wrong way to make chocolate, you guys. Chocolate is very personal to the person that's eating it. Everyone has different taste buds, and they all know what they like. I'm not here to tell you what the best chocolate in the world is, nor, you know. So I love making chocolate no matter what. When I want to finish it off, though, and make something that's on this shelf, because this is really what I focus on, you guys. If you were to take this stuff before I refined it, it would be like eating sand, all right? But chocolate sand, so it wouldn't be that bad, right? So I will do this all day Wednesday. This is the hardest part of the job, you guys. All this other stuff is very, very hard. But this is something you can't go home if you know it's not working out. You got to stay and you got to figure it out. Okay, I'll let it breathe 12 hours or so, but I got to come back the next day, transition it into the next machine. So that's what brings me to this. This machine does everything that we talked about all in one, and that's great, very effective, very affordable. But, you know, it's very, very primitive and basic, okay? You kind of just put your ingredients in there. Yeah, roasting is very important. Dial in your roast, put the cocoa beans in there, grind it up, put the sugar in there, grind it up. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. It's gonna take 3, 4, 5 days to make it smooth. You're not gonna hang out in the factory for 5 days straight, putting the lid on, taking the lid off, taking the lid off. They would like to make you think that you were doing that, right? In closing, you guys, what I'll do is, again, I focus on these farms right here. I turn it all into that flake that we add, and I put that flake into this machine called the Elk. And what the Elk is almost like a washing machine on its side. And if you understand a washing machine and the blades that spin around, shear, tear, mix up, they actually make chocolate in South Africa with old washing machines. So you just put the ingredients in there, turn it on, and it's just going around spinning and spinning and spinning, just like that. But instead of stones grinding, it's shearing, tearing, scooping, mixing, right? A little more precise and precision. But what I have now is chocolate, you guys. All right. Really what makes Swiss chocolate and what we do here so special is, you know, no one in the nation is doing what we're doing, you guys. You would go to other factories around the nation, and that guy we'd have a couple of these spinning around. And again, I love making chocolate no matter what. It's just everyone in this room, even these kids, could make chocolate. Push a button. That's all you do. Push a button and get to relax, right? Here you can't, obviously, right? It's all in stages and all that kind of stuff, but you know, my favorite thing, you guys, is getting the kids in here and they eat that stuff. And just like yesterday, this girl is going crazy. She's probably, you know, her age, and she's like, I love chocolate, and she's just going nuts. And it's the 80%, and that's the last thing I would have done when I was her age. You know, unless I had this, I probably would be going nuts too. This is in Gelson's and it's in Bristol Farms, but they haven't made an order in 6 months. Because their bar is probably $10 over there. Right. And people, I totally understand. This bar here used to be $12. Right. Because no one would buy it, right? Of course. I mean, I'm not going to buy a $12 chocolate bar. I don't even know what it tastes like, right? So we're about to 6. We're still having a lot of troubles with it. But it's just like anything, you guys. Everyone's not going out there and buying Kraft cheese. Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't even make money since I've cut the cost in half. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, I mean, make $1 a bar. you know, the ingredients and all this stuff, this process, you know, it's expensive, and it cost me $500 to ship up a couple tons of chocolate and $500 to ship it back down. If you think in the scheme of things, millions and millions of dollars of capital would then be, you know, wasted in trying to find something that you're just moving, and obviously this didn't even work out. So, but everyone who knows this place, obviously they're kind of obsessed with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just no one knows about us. You know, it's really, really sad. I haven't given up yet, and the owner hasn't given up yet, and we're just doing it. We're just gonna, you know, get rid of all these people, and I mean, all F is only him. But we're still gonna keep this going, but really figure out, get the right people, you know, people who want to be here, you know, and because that's what it is. If you don't want to be here, you can't start a company, right? Before I did any of this, I got right out of college. I started a coffee company with my friend, and I initially was hired as a coffee roaster. We had cafes as an outlet to get our product out there. We had to close our cafes. Everything in the world is marketing, you guys. This is quite good stuff. Silver, silver, and silver in the world competitions. Everything is marketing, right? Again, I'm the only one here. How else am I going to do anything else? You know, but obviously it hasn't worked out that way. Very hard to make. I love making it. Sometimes, right? Are we good?